So there's no better way to ruin my first impressions than to just blow out my eardrums with something that sounds absolutely terrible. Now, obviously, this is just the intro music. This is like the sound that you were hearing. Yeah, now it's starting to get into it. Now it's actually starting to be music. But like starting off with that random burn noise is not something you want, because as soon as I click on it on Steam, it's like burn immediately. And I thought something broke. I was like, oh God, did it like freeze as soon as I launched it? Did I just like download malware out of nowhere? Which is on Steam, so the chances of that are pretty slim. But yeah, that kind of ruined my first impressions. Anyways, Michael here, and today we're going to be checking out Riptale. I saw this game, and it has some interesting aesthetic. I was actually going to check out another game, but then I saw this one. It has a black, white, and red aesthetic, and I'm like, all right, you know what? I'll try it out. One thing that is annoying is I did go into the options to change my controller layout, but it does have controller support. I have to use the control stick to actually, you know, go through the options, which is a bit annoying. Anyways, we're going to give 15 or so minutes to actually check it out, and here's the music going. The music isn't terrible. I don't know. It's not good either, but yeah, I'm not digging the music so far. But anyways, let's go ahead and start. Normal, I guess. I'm playing with the gamepad. Hopefully it works. Oh God, there's music here too. Crisis. That was a good game. When the land of the old sea unveiled the darkness dwelling below. The dragons, of course, it has to do with dragons. I like the dragon artwork. Everything else is pretty bare, actually. Oh, that's a cool looking dragon. I like that one. Beasts too mighty for regular weapons to defy. Thanks for the reading time. Only a skilled warrior could utilize the astral gems. Has something to do with gems. That power attack deadly enough. Or that power attacks deadly enough? Oh, I get it. It's flowing. Okay. To bring down the source of this evil. That's a run-on sentence. Also, the guy looks ridiculous. I thought he was a samurai, but it looks like he's just wearing for good. Wearing a bucket. My screen's black. Is that supposed to happen? Okay, now the game crashed. So we're back. The game crashed. Quite literally, just like, oh, now it crashed. Maybe that sound's not supposed to happen. Oh my God, there's an intro option. Hey guys, you want to go through the intro again? No, thank you. Just bring me to the game. Oh, you know what? Just crashed again. All right, I think I got to work. Holy crap. Okay, so apparently we can't use the D-pad because the D-pad crashes the game. So I guess we're using the left stick. I don't like doing that in platformers. Movement, left stick. Cool. Yeah. Oh. Holy cow. Okay, we can dash pretty dang far, apparently. So we just go through the tutorial by pressing buttons. So there's the jump button, and then we get the combat tutorial. You know what? Fine. Let's go through the tutorial. Jump select. Nah, screw it. Let's just keep going. Whoop. Cool. Don't care. I did something. I cut something. Now did we just leave? Oh, it's actually going to tell us to go back. Okay, so basically I get the idea of this. Basically, oh, no, we're supposed to go up there. Okay, cool. So we go bing, 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 and then we can actually dash around. I kind of like that idea. That's kind of cool. We are a samurai. It's just a buckethead samurai. And then we go down, and there we go. I think the combat was fairly basic. I already figured it out. Oh, God, why is this music so loud? Jesus Christ. Okay, so basically we actually have to use the left stick because it actually has a directional movement. So when we actually dash and stuff like that, it actually goes towards it. And I lost 2 hearts, apparently. Okay, or 1 heart, sorry. I need to turn this down. Holy cow, why is this game so loud? I went to the options and turned it all the way down to 10, and it is blazing loud. Obviously, I'm going to turn it down to the recording of the video so you won't actually hear it. Is there a simpler attack? Oh, I got eaten. Okay, death animation could use some work. Restart! By the way, let me use the D-pad. Get ready! Go! It doesn't have a go. I'm actually disappointed it doesn't have a go. I would really like to be able to see a go. Okay, so I like the idea of the dashing. The problem is, we dash all the way off screen. We already saw in the tutorial, it was just like, boom. Also, the hitboxes are a bit bizarre, I guess. I'm just kind of like hitting in that general direction and kind of killing things. Is there a bonus for going through that way? Nope. It looks like it's randomized as well, so it might actually be like a roguelite sort of game. I am not a fan of this music. I think it's like going a little too fast for this. I think it should be a little bit more methodic. Because, like, right now, it's just kind of like, yeah. And also, nothing has sound effects except for us dashing and us killing things. Which, once again, makes it really hard to read when enemies are there. So it doesn't really feel, it doesn't feel like it flows. Also, where am I supposed to go? Am I supposed to go up there? Is that... Okay, so we do end up going through the side. I was thinking, like, it's like a downwell thing to where we just end up going down. I like the sort of design on some of the enemies, though. I kind of like the simple aesthetic. But once again, it's, like, really, really hard to read how things are going. I don't know. Also, Oh, so we have the things at the top. That's how many times we can dash. So basically, we don't want to dash everywhere. So we actually do have to do some platforming. Can we double jump? What does B do? There was B's in the options menu. I don't remember what it was supposed to do. And now we're dead. You need a new animation there. What's in unlockables? Scarfs. Crimson. Locked, 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 locked. Cool. Pets. None. Cool. I like none pets. And trinkets, we have none. So when I was getting the review key for this game, it actually gave me a small little sort of, I guess, this is how the game works sort of thing. And it gave me a little thing to where it's like, you can customize your combos with things that you collect. I haven't seen it so far, but I like that waterfall. It's going really, really fast. You know, what's really strange is there's like this bizarre, everything's going fast, but at the same time, your character moves so slow. The only thing that's actually fast is the enemy's attacks and your dashing. It just doesn't feel right. Can we go down there? No. The aesthetic is also really, really hard to read. It looks obviously like a tile-based game, which is not necessarily how you want to do it. If you want to know how do you do like black and white aesthetics properly, like I think Downwell did it perfect. Obviously, it was blocky and everything like that, but the way that it was sort of designed made it so it wasn't obviously blocks. I can definitely see the tiling on this one, which is a little bit disappointing. I don't know, I saw the screenshots for this, and I'm like, you know what, I'm fine. It looks like a platformer, we're playing as a samurai, and that's mostly what drew me to it, because I like samurais. I thought it was cool, it's a platformer, but I'm not necessarily enjoying this one right off the bat, especially since it crashed right at the beginning when we ended up playing, and I can't use the D-pad because of that sad face. I know that's not why. Did that enemy just teleport? Okay, so they teleport. There's literally no reading to it whatsoever. That's my main complaint so far right now, is that there's no way to really read anything. And I guess maybe that was their goal and that's kind of their point, but I don't think this is fun at all. In any way, shape, or form. Apparently we get gold. I don't know what we're supposed to use gold for. Maybe there's shops that we get to eventually if you can actually live long enough. Now, I'm not, you know, against difficult games. I was just talking about Downwell. That game is next to impossible. I hate that game for its difficulty, but at the same time, I love that game for its difficulty because it's frustrating sometimes because you're like, oh, I wanted to get farther, but then you can't get farther, and then other times, yeah, you don't really get very far. Also, it seems like enemies just kind of pop up out of nowhere sometimes. I don't know where the hell that guy came from. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. That's it. Maybe. Also, I missed a little bit of gold there. Oh, he attacked me immediately. That's annoying. I don't like enemies that attack immediately. There needs to be some sort of reading, telling sort of thing. I just checked out another game called Chuckle's Adventure that I was like, all right, enemies just kind of attack out of nowhere and there's no animation. Also, that's a box. I can destroy boxes. Boxes get destroyed by my box. Oh, so there's a snake inside the box. That's annoying. So one thing I think that would actually help this game a ton is if there wasn't a limit on the amount of dashes that you had, and you had to be a little bit more accurate to kill things. And so instead of making it so it's like, oh, you can only dash, 3 times, and all of a sudden you gotta wait 10 seconds to get another one, I think it would be really, really interesting to actually have it so that you could be like, oh, I can dash infinitely, but I actually have to be accurate. Also, that was just me failing. Hey, there's a heart. We can get heart drops. Cool. I'm not gonna get past this first stage, I don't think. At least it's changing it up every time. I do appreciate that. The fact that it is kind of changing up everything every time we end up dying and trying to replay it. I don't actually know if there's going to be more stages or anything like that. Like, I know Downwell and some other roguelites like to do the thing. Also, getting hit from off screen, very annoying. Also, the hearts have a black box around it when you go over things. It's not actually transparent. So when we were over the trees and stuff like that, you can go back and pause the video if you want to know what I'm talking about. But basically, there's a black box behind the hearts, which is just, one of those graphic design things I'd be very upset about. Because basically I would not accept that into my game and be like, hey, I need to fix that black box. It should be transparent. But maybe they're trying to go for that retro aesthetic to where nothing is transparent. But at the same time, I have a feeling since that had black boxes around it, the only things that are actually transparent are the characters. I think everything else is probably going to have a black box around it. And the graphic designer inside of me actually is very, very bothered by that. Also, I cut him in the face when he was about to charge at me. I felt awesome. So that feels good, at least. Also, we can step in front of that. I didn't really realize that. I like these little cat things. I don't know what the hell they're supposed to be, but... Oh, I guess it's like a wolf. I don't know why I called it a cat. I just have cats on the brain. I was going to check out a cat game as well. There's actually a really, really cool cat game. I already know how it plays, though, so I felt like it was a little bit kind of a mismatch for the series, but I still might end up doing it. I don't know. It was kind of interesting. It's like a little cat explorer game. I might end up checking that one out a little bit later. Hold on. I need to wait for my charges. There we go. For some reason, the third charge took longer than the second charge to come back. I think it just ended up bugging. Maybe there's like a frame rate problem. Also, this music is extremely annoying. I do not like it. I like the back tone that you have going, like the dee-nee-nee-nee-nee. That's cool. The overtones to it, though, are just like, they clip and just, it sounds terrible. Like, I don't even know how to describe it, because it's not like that retro terrible, it's just terrible. In the sense that it is. Maybe some people will like it. Maybe some people are into that sort of thing. Maybe it's because I don't really like distortion in my music as much. Like, I like sort of some intentional distortion, but I think that it feels a little unintentional, as in it's just like a lack of polish. And that's what it feels like to me personally, but maybe not everyone will agree with me. So far, I'm starting to get the hang of this, though. I'm taking a little bit more time. I need to pay more attention to where the charges are up in the top. You know how you have the hearts above the character? It would be nice to have it maybe so that you can end up seeing your charges as well. That would probably be a little bit more satisfying, because you'd be able to actually see on your character where you're supposed to be looking, you know, what you have left. Also, the tree is different when it's behind boxes, so I definitely think there are some texturing problems in the game that you could probably end up looking at. You can definitely see where the squares are. That bothers me a lot. Maybe it shouldn't bother me as much as it does, but it bothers me a ton. Also, I think we found something. Interact. Step 1, peel the beets. Step 2, let the mutton soak for 4 hours. Step 3, peel the beets again. Step 4, add redden's sauce. Step 5, serve in a bowl. So if you peel beets twice, does that mean there's any beets left? What is this heart thing? Can I interact with the hearts? I think that just heals us, and I didn't take damage because I'm a boss. Let's go to the next area. So yes, there are more levels. Thank goodness. Same music. They didn't change the music at all. I might actually... Can I go to the options real quick? No, I can go back to the main menu. Oh, I was literally going to turn off the music because I hate it. I really don't. Like, just it sounds super annoying to me, and I don't necessarily know 100% why, because I'm not a music critic. I'm a video game critic and art critic. I am not... Well, I guess music is technically art, so I guess you could say, like, oh, well, you are an art critic. I don't know. I don't like it. It does not fit the pace of the game that I'm going at, because I have limited charges. It should feel more methodical, at least in my opinion. Maybe some people will disagree. I just don't feel like anything's happening, though. Like, the screen shakes and stuff like that when I kill an enemy, but I don't really feel like that much impact from it. And the whole physics thing is kind of weird. The enemies don't really feel like they tie together. Like, that little tiny guy, like, he was miniature compared to my guy, and this guy is, like, huge compared to that other guy. This ball thing, I don't know what the hell it is, but that's fine. I think that one is actually the most thematic in the entire thing, because the dragons have, like, these giant googly eyes, which just seems awkward and strange. So, yeah, I don't know. I want to find the shop, though. I want to find out what we actually do with these gold coins. And maybe we won't find... Let's see, like... Okay, so look at that dragon up at the top. Now look at that guy in the bottom right. They do not look like they're from the same game. Also, there's gold here. I think I need it, probably. Does that mean there's, like, secrets in these sort of areas? Maybe there's, like, a secret I'm supposed to find to actually get these sort of things. Maybe there's, like, a secret shop. Maybe I'm supposed to be going upwards? Am I supposed to be going upwards? Because I could have just gone to the right and just kept going. I don't know. I was kind of hoping this game would have set levels. That's actually what I was looking for. I wasn't looking for a roguelike experience. Also, there's just a random cube there. I don't know if that's random generation or intentional. Or if there's a secret somewhere. I literally don't know what the B button did either. I think there's supposed to be other mechanics, because it seems like there are other mechanics. We're just not seeing them. I don't know. Maybe in the unlockable... Oh, I died. So maybe there isn't a shop, and maybe the gold does something? I'll go back to the main menu. Can I just go to unlockables and, like, look at things? Nope. What are we supposed to do with gold? Is there a tutorial for gold? Is it the options? I don't know what to do with gold. I can go back to the intro and watch the game crash again. That'd be great. Everyone loves that. Hold on, let's go through the tutorial. Gems allow you to perform different attacks. These gems hold the different target attack. These are not different attacks. I mean, it's the same attack, just in different directions. I don't see a variation. They recharge over time. Cool. Aim attack. Cool. Aimed it. Aimed it. Aimed it again. Cool. Chain the attacks to aim at new targets. Gotcha. Okay. We didn't miss anything in the tutorial, just in case anybody was wondering. I'm pretty sure... Oh, I gotta wait for it to recharge. That's not a fun mechanic. The recharging, like, waiting for it to recharge, that's not actually a fun mechanic. But the rest of it, sure. Fine. I mean, it's not, like, an unenjoyable game. It just feels like it's lacking a lot of polish. Like, it just feels like everything's lacking polish. Hey, we got new music. I like how that one's going. Also, this dragon does not match the other ones. That one actually reminded me of, like, those weird grumpy things in the... Oh my god, I can't remember the name of it. That little thing, Zumbinis, there we go. It reminded me of the grumpy guy that has, like, the pizza and stuff like that. I'm gonna call back some memories on that one. But, yeah, I don't know. the enemies just don't match each other. I mean, they have the whole long nose idea and they have the whole dragon idea kind of going around, but just like it doesn't thematically, like it thematically fits. That's the wrong word to use for it, but just like graphically, it doesn't fit together. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't look good in my opinion. Also, once again, with the tiling kind of being very, very obvious, I think that what they could end up doing is doing some maybe mesh tiles that would end up doing some transitions, because most other games end up doing these sort of aesthetics to kind of do that as well. Is there a point to us killing things? Because I literally just don't see a point to killing anything at the moment. Because we've gotten a bunch of gold, but I haven't actually seen a use for it yet. And so I'm kind of thinking I should just end up skipping around and actually finding what the hell gold is even used for, because I haven't found anything yet. That seems like something that would be in a tutorial, right? And maybe there's multiple pathways as well. It seems like there may end up being like, oh, I can go this way or I can go that way. I do like the whole getting across the screen and actually using the whole dash thing to kill things, though. I think that is satisfying. Oh, hey, reach the goal of this dark maze in time. Okay, so there's some randomness in this. A random loud vehicle decided to drive past my building in the day. I am having a very frustrating day. I'm not going to find it. Also, this is completely random because basically every time you go into an area... Also, the B button had a giant black square. That bothers me. Also, was the way to go just up here? I guess so. I don't actually know how to even find the entrance. I don't like things that are like that, where it's like, try and guess. I assume this is the end, and there might have been like a bonus there. Probably just gold. Or maybe this is how you unlock extra abilities. I don't necessarily know. I'm gonna go a little bit longer. Hold on. Up, shop. Okay, so now we actually found a shop. Name, Angus Gust. Triple attack. Okay, not enough money, boob. Okay, so we should have collected gold. All right. So that's that. Can we steal from this guy? Nope. All right. So I don't know. It's okay, I guess. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just okay. I mean, the aesthetic is the main thing kind of drawing me away, I think. That was actually what drew me to the game in the first place, because the screenshots look decent. I mean, it looked like one of those sort of games. Also, there was a jar that just randomly fell, so it's definitely a tile-based randomization thing. Probably end up wanting to work on that, maybe have the physics apply before you drop into the level. That way, you know, you don't have weird things like that. Like, that's the main thing that's drawing me off of this one. It's just like, it lacks a lot of polish. With some work, I think this could be a fun game. I think that it's actually fun in the mechanic-wise things, like, you know, dashing into enemies and stuff like that. That's a fun idea. But the execution of it is not particularly great, and being able to dash off the screen isn't necessarily something I want to be able to do either. I think having a little bit more methodical sort of a feel to it would probably end up benefiting the game a ton. Maybe getting rid of the whole recharge timer and then making it so you can dash infinitely, but then make it so it's a penalty that you end up dashing off of the screen. And maybe there's going to be some balance issues, but maybe you want to try and figure out how to actually fix around that rather than making it so you have to wait to recharge. Because, yeah, also music, I don't like it at all. I think the intro music got okay after a while. Obviously, death animations need a little bit of work as well. Having that weird kind of cut off at the bottom looks very, very strange. Like, that's what's driving me off of this one. It's just the artwork is inconsistent. The music is loud and nauseating. And yeah, I don't necessarily know 100% where the mechanics are going, but it doesn't really seem like you have multiple attacks. We did see at the shop, it's like, hey, there's this and this and that. And I'm like, cool. But at the same time, it's not something that I ended up finding early on enough to actually end up enjoying the game anymore, because I'm already bored of the mechanic and I don't really think I want to keep playing, to be honest. Kind of bored of it. I'm going to go check out a different game. Anyways, this has been Michael checking this one out. So basically, it's an alright game, I guess. I mean, it's got an interesting idea with the whole blade slice thing, but I'm not necessarily a fan. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this one. We'll end up checking out a bunch of different types of games. And yeah, I'm a little bit sad this one was a bit of a disappointment. I mean, it could be better. I think that it needs a lot of work. My review key did come from the beta, but the Steam page does say it is 1.0. And so, or 1.1 actually, so it's had an update after the final update. And if they are saying this is a final game, obviously you want to add in things like sound effects, even if it's just end up being bleeps and boops. Maybe go along with the aesthetic. The music, one of the reasons why the music doesn't end up matching is because it's electric instead of actually being the whole retro style. Like, you could end up looking at Downwell, for example, to where everything was in that retro aesthetic, including the music, including the sound effects, including the artwork, everything. And it ended up all being inside this sort of chibi style artwork, and it all felt like it fit together. It felt like it came from the same game. This one, not necessarily the same case. Some characters kind of are different sizes. Some end up being a little bit weird in the sort of nose styles and things like that. And maybe that was intentional, and that I'm perfectly fine with admitting. And it takes too long to end up getting to a shop. Maybe having a shop at the start with your gold or something like that. Maybe having some form of progression would be interesting, because the main mechanic of dashing is fun at first, but not being able to read your enemies as well. Yes, obviously, the more you play it, the more you'll kind of understand what it is. But at the same time, I ended up reading. Also, I just now noticed, I don't know if this will be a second ago. I had to adjust my audio for a second, but basically that one of these enemies actually had sound effects to his attacks. Why don't all of them have sounding to their effects? Basically, polish this game and it might be decent. But for right now, I ain't gonna recommend it to anyone, because it's kind of not very good without that polish. Games like this require a lot of polish to be good, and this one doesn't have it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, sorry I was so negative in this one. See you guys in the next video.